I am getting up to the stage. I'm going to read, I put together what I think is a nice way of dealing with dialogues on death and dying. I've kind of put everything in order, and I hope you enjoy some of it. The first one is the title of a book that I have out, and I've given 10 copies to hospice to sell and keep the proceeds for donations. So they're going to be out in the lobby, so if you want to, when you get a coffee, take a look and maybe buy one. Their autographs could be, in 500 years, maybe worth something. You never know. Anyway, this one is called Behind the One-Way Mirror. They do live on in that other hazy dimension just beyond our reach. They still walk the canyons of our minds, turning memories on and off in cinematic film clips of days gone by. They dance to their own rhythm, feathers brushing against our being, echoing, remember me, remember me. They breathe their presence into our souls to fill the empty space they left in us when they left us. And we do live on behind this one-way mirror, just beyond their reach, waiting for the mirror to shatter. And this next one, I've been going to some interventional radiology at RCH, and if there's an emergency that comes in, you sit there and wait, which is no big deal, but there's a little table in the corner with some odd stuff on it, and I was looking, I thought, I'm going to write a poem about that. So it's called Melodies and Scents. A table sits in quiet repose at the edge of the silent room. On it, an antique speaker with no frame, and a vase alive with dead flowers. Doors open and close as I approach and pass through them. As I move through many unfamiliar rooms, I think of the antique speaker with no frame. And I wonder at the songs that played through it. And I wonder if the dead flowers in the vase were roses or carnations or even wildflowers. Melodies and scents are such a big part of life. And when they're gone, they're gone. So take time to enjoy the songs and smell the flowers as you pass by. Now this next one, I don't know if you're familiar with Crossroads Hospice in Port Moody or Coquitlam. Anyway, Linda Kozima there, she asked me to write a poem for some of the musicians and performers that had passed away. It's going back a few years. So I wrote this one for her called Whispering Through the Blue. In serenades and ballads, their memory lingers on, whispering through the blue of a fading song. If we listen, we can hear them singing soft and low, star-dusted melodies in twilight's afterglow. The sweet of the steel, guitar riffs and strums, the groove of the bass and the beat of the drums, the sweet, salty, powdered sugar dreams of yesterday tug gently at our heartstrings, and then we drift away. If we close our eyes, we can still hear them play, those old favorite songs, that familiar swing and sway. The sparkling shine of the music's refrain echoes with their voices in shadows of the rain. In serenades and ballads, their memory lingers on, whispering through the blue of a fading song, whispering through the blue of a fading song. This one, I ended up doing this one. They asked me to, I'd already written it, but they asked me to read it at their donors' dinner. So I read this one, and I really like this song. It's one of my songs. I like this poem. It's one of my favorites. It's called Dried Flowers of Youth, and how it came about. My grandmother always took flowers from weddings and different things and pressed them in between books, and then you opened them up and they were dried flowers. And when I was young, I always used to look at them and I'd say, what kind was that? What kind was this? Grover nuts. But anyway, that's why I was thinking of that, and then I wrote this poem. Dried flowers of youth, crushed between pages, forgotten utterings of ancient sages, a whispered scream and the drama between, life unraveling at the seam. A young man running through early chapters, hobbling toward final ever-afters. Slowly you're slipping and sliding away into that nether world of yesterday, and oh, that I could follow you there, to leave behind this worry and care, to build with you castles on the beach in that place you visit when you're out of reach. Whispers and memories of your sweet song, when you were young, when you were strong, before the years made your bones ache, before your hands started to shake, before you had to be wheeled in a chair, before time left you nothing to spare. Dried flowers of youth are crumbling now, gracing the stage in their final bow. Your frailty of heart will soon set you free, and far, far away you will fly from me, to a place where streets are paved in gold, where dreams cannot be bought or sold, where music never ceases to play. It will call to you softly and take you away. And as you leave this world behind, the best part of me will become undefined. This next one, I tried to imagine what it's like for somebody that's getting Alzheimer's, so I think this is what it would be like for me anyway, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope it's like this for me. It's called Turned Inside Out. Wandering into Alzheimer's night, I'm fading away from reality's light. I've forgotten the words to your favorite song, and the lyrics to mine don't seem to belong. I can't differentiate between right and wrong, and the memories I cherished are now lost and gone. I reach for my cane as my hands start to shake. I can't recall when my bones didn't ache. I look in the mirror and see a white streak has replaced the black strands of my widow's peak. Then my mind starts to wander, my eyes glaze over. I'm a child again, running through fields of clover. But still there are things I barely remember, and January's now just a prolonged December. But I've learned many things from my sojourn on earth. There's two sides to everything, each of great worth. A whisper's the other side of a shout. And today is just yesterday, turned inside out. Now this one's a memory, but it's a current one. It's an old memory, but when I'm falling asleep at night now, I have a new favorite thing to think on. It just happened one night, now I do it every night. It's called Small Barnacle Rocks of Yesterday. A strange title. Lately at the edge of night, on the precipice of fading consciousness, the past creeps into my impending sleep on little cat feet. Then suddenly, I'm a small child again, laying in my training bed at the Crescent Beach cottage, listening to the lapping of the waves as they kiss the twilit shoreline. An absolute peace and contentment wash over me as I lie in my happiness, listening to the ocean's sighs, falling softly into dreams of sandbars, seaweed, tidal pools, and small barnacled rocks, where tomorrow I will build castles, wade the tidal pools, and search for tiny crabs and starfish under the small barnacled rocks of my long-lost yesterdays. Gone, gone, gone. And here's a one to give us some thought. Sometimes you're sitting and you feel somebody that's no longer with us. One eye I visualize your eyes shining brightly, and I hear you whispering, but I can't cross over the invisible line in the sand that separates us. I'm alone in this world filled with sun and moon and stars, and you are not here, but you are. Passing things. I like the ending to this one. Sometimes I hear voices and noises that nobody else hears, and I wonder if it's the other side reaching out to gather me into their fold. Sometimes I smell a waft of perfume, and I swear my mother's nearby. Sometimes I swear I glimpsed a ghost, a fading gray shadow nudged into the corner of my eye. And there are times I recall a jigsaw puzzle memory with a few missing pieces or pieces that don't quite fit. These are passing things, passing fast, then slowly fading away, as am I. Yeah, I am. I kind of am not too. You know, I like, some days I like to think I'm near my end, and other days I like to think, oh, I got a long time. Today's a day I think I got a long time, so this one's called Unbound. I kind of compare myself a bit to a book here. I try to recapture the lost, almost forgotten joys of childhood days and ways. I try to marry them to an aging heart and failing mind. The pictures in my photo album have yellowed. The glue has lost its stickiness. The book of life has lost its bind. The pages kidnapped and imprisoned in the inner sanctum of my soul. And I am becoming unbound, fading, fading, fading away. I like to think that's how I'm going to go, just like smoke fading away. Probably won't happen, but I'll imagine it is happening that way. This one's called transitioning, because we are going to transition at the end. Voices, there, but indistinct, dissolving, images at the edge of my vision, disappearing. I walk through this surreal reality, a collision of minutes and seconds, warping the timeline I'm on. And all the while, the music plays, the voices sing, and the images dance. Inside a private symphony, in unison with my transitioning essence. Just a few more, and I'll be gone. Well, not really gone, but gone from here. Now this one's called Tangible Green. This is a rhymer. I do some rhymers and I don't do some. Rhymers, I enjoy doing them, but they're hard to do because you gotta make them make sense and not seem like elementary school. Okay, this one. I carry my bones and age-worn flesh down a highway of coveted dreams. And I wish and I pray I could stay, but the dreams fade and fray at the seams. There's a distant whisper drawing nigh in the lilac and jasmine fields of my mind. The spark of imagination's evolving. My bones and flesh are slowly dissolving as the creeping quicksand of nevermore quickens and pulls at the root of my core. Opening closed doors, settling old scores. In the heat of an exhaled breath, I hold the ice-cold hands of death. Then dead dragonflies read from the scroll, bewitching of butterflies cleanse my soul. A growing weight falls on my chest. I shed my weary bones and flesh, breaking the rusty chains of life, leaving behind this world of strife as I walk with the Savior and the Lamb at the edge of this tangible dream I am. I thought it fitting to throw some religion in. I'm in a church. I went to Sunday school here. Two more and I'm done. Before stars can shine. You know how beautiful a dark night sky is, and you see these lovely stars shining. I watch the evening sunset expire in the chokehold of another dying day. Dark honey drips from the flayed fingers of night, blotting out the last remnants of light. There is an inferred whimper, a muted whisper, and a moment of total despair. But always, always, there must be darkness before the stars can shine. And my last one should give all of us here hope. I hope it does. It's called Within Us. An angel shot silk into the heart of the stars, and a universe was born. The force behind the stone, the blood within the bone, was the power of God, creator of the all. He molds all life, and we are in his keep. Upon our death, we will not die. We will not die. And now, that's the end of my swan song. I'm going to get off the stage before I. Thank you very much for